So Therese,
Jared.
we're in a laundry room on the edge of Kansas. What's that got to do with this month's collaboration?
Well, Jared, when we take our trips, we need to look for facilities that have laundry rooms because we don't have washer and dryer in our rig.
Right, so we will talk about that in this collaboration where we're talking about how we plan I hope the AC's not too loud, but we're not turning it off because it's like 1,000,000 degrees here in Kansas. Make sure that at the end of this video, you check out all of the other channels in this collaboration. They're all going to have different perspectives because we've got full-time base campers, we have full-time always on the road, we have part-time weekend warriors, and all of that. So lots of different perspectives. So check out all of the other videos in this collaboration. Let's dive in.
All right.
Part 1
is our long-term camping. So we kind of plan it out a year or two in advance if we're going to go for the long summer when I have off.
Right, so we'll decide what area of the country we want to go to, and then we'll start planning the spots that we need.
Right, and we look to see if we can reserve like from 1 to 2 years out. There are some KOAs that can, there are some private ones that can. So we take a look at those.
Right, and I guess this is a good time to talk about the different opportunities that we have for camping. So we are members of KOA, and like there's a lot of people that shy away from the KOAs. We tend to stay at KOAs when we need good amenities.
Right.
Like where we are now. The reason we stopped at this KOA was because it had full hookups. It's 1,000,000 degrees. We got the dogs. We needed to do laundry.
It's a short trip to our next destination.
Right. And if you've watched our previous video on the 3-3-3 rule, where we try to arrive by 3 o'clock, drive no more than 3 hours, or 300 miles. So today, we drove a little longer, but we did get here before 3 o'clock, and it was right at about the 300-mile mark. So that fit. So phase 1 is long-term camping. We'll pick a region, and then we start planning from there. So hopefully we can plan where we can stay longer than a week or a week. A week is about right.
A week is good. 5 to 7 or 8 days is...
Yeah, really, that's a good sweet spot. And then we move on. Okay, short-term planning.
Short-term, we usually start 9 months out because in Oregon, that's how much we can reserve something from Reserve America. So if we want to go to the beach or to Eastern Oregon or Central Oregon, 9 months out, and then we kind of get together with our group of friends and say what weekends we want to go, where we want to go, and how long.
Yeah, try to plan as many long weekends in as we can. In fact, every long weekend, we try to plan in, somewhere that's a destination place, Central Oregon.
We look at my schedule for the year, and I see which weekends are a little bit longer. And so, like right now, we should be getting our new calendar. So I'll go in and I'll see which weekends I have off, and we'll go ahead and just
start booking them.
Yeah, to start booking them.
Book them, Dano.
So anything over a 5-hour drive is a week.
Correct.
We absolutely will not go outside of 5 hours and for a weekend.
No.
So a week might fall into short-term plans depending on where we're going and that kind of stuff. But yeah, pretty much our short-term planning all revolves around
My
Tracy's
work.
schedule. And then our third category of planning is kind of the fly by the seat of your pants, or just get up and go kind of camping.
Right.
Or like we did with this long trip that we're on, we made no reservations.
When we left Elkhart.
Yeah, from Elkhart to home. We did get a reservation at the Air Force Academy, and because we knew that we wanted to stay there. We knew that we wanted to go through Colorado Springs.
Right.
But beyond that, we've pretty much been calling ahead or finding a spot and saying this is a spot that we could get hookups at, or this is a spot that we can harvest toast, or this is a spot. So, and then after the Air Force Academy, we've got no reservation. So we'll be flying by the seat of our pants to get home. But having said that, it still has to fall into our rules.
Right.
It still has to say, you know, the 333. Now we absolutely want to get home by the 17th.
So we might.
Which isn't going to make any sense if you're watching this video in October. But we want to get home at a certain time. So we've agreed that we will extend out to about 5 hours. But with 5 hours, we could still get in by 3, you know, stay within 300, 350 miles, and just big chunks to get home.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Now, the last thing that we'll talk about is the memberships and the apps that we use for planning. Like Teresa said, we use, for Oregon State Parks, we use Reserve America because we have to. We don't have a choice. But we'll get on the Oregon State Parks and find out what's available, and then you click and it kicks you over to Reserve America to make the reservation.
Right.
We also have memberships with KOA.
Correct.
We have memberships with Good Sam, which give us discounts. We have memberships with FMCA, which give us discounts. And then we try to stay at military campgrounds as much as we can.
And Harvest Host.
And then Harvest Host. Because military campgrounds always offer hookups and really, really good pricing. So, any other memberships? I think that's pretty much it.
No.
And then for the actual planning, we use the Road Tripper network. So we use Road Tripper for finding all the campgrounds, with the exception of military campgrounds or Harvest Host because they're not on Road Tripper. So we'll use Road Tripper, and then that kicks over to the Road Tripper to go GPS, and we use that for navigating.
Okay, so I think part of this collaboration is how we determine where we go. And for the small time, we can just usually get to the beach.
Yeah, it's pretty much local.
Or central Oregon. But if we're going to do a big trip, we kind of figure out where we haven't been, how long it's going to take us, and if anybody else is going to be going with us, or if we're meeting people there.
Yeah, or a significant event.
Correct.
Like this year was twofold. We wanted to meet up with the WAGs and caravan with them for a month, but then we had the Keystone Ambassador Rally.
Right.
So that put us in the Midwest because we had to be in Shipshewana, Indiana.
Yeah, the first week of August.
So starting down in Kansas City and working our way up was logical.
Right.
So for next year, we already know that we're staying in the Northwest.
Correct.
So we're probably going to head maybe to Glacier.
Could be.
For a week, which means, you know, there's a couple days of travel to, a couple days of travel back. So that's going to be at least a 2-week, maybe 3-week travel. And then we might hit some other things like Leavenworth on the way back or something. I don't know, but we decide if we're going to go somewhere for a significant event, or if we're meeting up with people, or like next year, we know that we're going to be in the Northwest. We just don't know what that looks like yet. because we're still about a year out. So that is how we kind of look at our 3 ways of planning where we're going to go. And it usually starts a year in advance. We start having the discussion, then we start looking at long term, short term, and then we could fill in the blanks. So we're curious how you do it. We're also curious how the other folks in the collaboration
check them
do
out.
it.
Check out and see how they do it.
Yeah, because we're going to have to watch their videos too. Because we don't talk about this stuff.
We just do it.
We just shoot our videos, throw them up there, and then we all watch our videos. And that guarantees we all get at least 1 watch.
Well, fine.
Hey, don't forget, share it with a friend. Hit the like and subscribe and do all those things. It really helps our channel. We are trying to grow, contrary to popular belief. And
Give us any tips.
yeah, and we'll see you Sunday.
Bye.